Hi and welcome to The Winning Factor. I'm Alan Aitken, and on this show each week we take a look at some upcoming races and try to isolate an aspect of the race that we might look back on later as having been the path to finding the winner. Well, Sunday at Sha Tin this week, the first race we're going to take a look at is race 6, and our winning factor here, the draw. Now I think we can cut this race down to three main chances: the President's Choice, a smart last start winner over the same course and distance, Zac Purton's ride, Colonel, still a maiden but knocking on the door, and I do give a little knockout chance to Super 18 down low in the weights from a good draw. But the reigning champion jockey, Zac Purton, combines here with Ricky Yu, perhaps the champion trainer in waiting for this season, and I thought we'd take a look at their past record together. Now, in fact, it was Ricky Yu who provided Zac with his first winner in Hong Kong back in 2007, and they have been a low profile but very reliable and consistent team through the years since. If you take a look at this, it's not one of those partnerships that has a lot of rides together, but you look at the number of rides that Zac does have for Ricky and the number of winners, and he maintains quite a good strike rate. And on the right hand side there you see the expected winners according to the betting market, and that's also been very consistent. They perform up to expectations as a pairing, and that's important for anyone who's having a bet. And this season, Zac's strike rate for Ricky is 4 winners from only 8 rides, and now he takes the mount on Colonel, and we're going to take a look at Colonel's latest appearance. This is going back to race 492, and he drew wide here, and this was an effort that earmarked him as a coming opportunity for this pairing. Grant Van Niekerk, the jockey on Colonel this day, and you'll see on the heat map he did a little bit of work early coming across from a wide gate, but he got a nice breather in the middle of the race before he fought on strongly, but just found the red-hot favourite on that day, Beluga, a little bit too strong in the final stages. Now, Purton takes over on Sunday. He gets a better draw, and when we take a look at the map, in fact, there should be even more breather time for the horse in this race. Now, he'll be one of the leaders, not necessarily the leader, because I think Zac would be happy to sit behind if Hard Promise and Super 18 want to take up the front. But he won't be spending any unnecessary energy until the home straight this time, and I think that might be the difference. President's Choice, he has a chance here, but as you can see on the map, his problem is that he's drawn wide, he's probably going to get well back, and the race doesn't have a lot of pressure. So the tip in race 6, Colonel, his winning factor, the draw. After having quite a bit of early work to do last time, he should get a more relaxed passage this time from barrier 3, and as we've seen, the Ricky Yu Zac Purton combination, very reliable over the years. The second race we're going to take a look at for Sunday's meeting is race 8, a winning factor here, the map. Now this is quite an open race by the looks of it. I think there'll be fans for a horse like Champion Supreme, who's racing well, Naboo Star, who's taking a switch from Happy Valley, where he's done almost all of his racing, Blastoise for the Zac Purton-David Ferraris combination, and Ensemble for Joe Moreira and Douglas White. Now, Naboo Star is one of the very interesting runners here, simply because we've seen so little of him at Sha Tin, but he's been in great form at Happy Valley. He only has the one Sha Tin run, but if he can bring his Happy Valley form, he's certainly going to be a chance. And we're going to take a look here at race 490 this season, and this features both Blastoise and Naboo Star. And when you see them here, black-orange colours, that's Blastoise. He's just behind the leaders on the fence, and he goes clear in the straight. Now, railing up behind him is a little bit slow to begin, Naboo Star. Blue and white colours, he goes up the fence behind Blastoise, but runs out of room and really didn't get a lot of room for the final 200 metres of this race. So certainly people who backed him that time might think he was pretty unlucky. And we're going to see Blastoise again in race 403, and this features a run by Ensemble. And Ensemble in white blue and red colours. Blastoise in those black and orange colours once again. And he's in a similar position. He goes up the fence behind the leader, and this time he can't come on to finish the race off. And Ensemble, who is held up slightly in the straight, he finishes well but just fails to gather in the leader. So just on the face value of those two replays, you'd probably look at that and say that both Ensemble and Naboo Star have got great cases for beating home Blastoise here. But the winning factor we referred to for this race is the map, and we're going to take a look at that now because that is all going to favour Blastoise. Once again, Blastoise, you saw in those replays, he took up a position in advance of his main rivals here, and I think he will do again in a race without a lot of speed. Purton should have him up on the lead, and Naboo Star, well, he often doesn't begin all that well. He's going to get back, and Ensemble is also a horse who's happier when he's not pushed along too early. So I think although we can make a case off the replays for the other horses, the map is certainly all in favour of Blastoise. So the tip in race 8, Blastoise, his winning factor, the map. In a race where there doesn't look to be a lot of pressure, he's the one of the chances in quite an open race who's going to get all the favours here, and I think that looks crucial. Well, that's it for the winning factor this week. Good luck on Sunday. We'll see you next time.